Before we understand what boundary work is, we need to define what a boundary is. A concept that comes back and again in the prime time of the news, isn't it? When politicians talk about protectionism or legitimacy, boundaries exist not only between countries. Per se, a boundary is a physical, temporal, emotional, cognitive or relational limit that defines entities as separate from one another, as posited by Ashford and colleagues in 2000. Simply put, a boundary is an imaginable line that circumscribes entities. What entities? Well, human bodies and their privacy as the most evident, but also countries, organizations, occupations, or social groups. Similarly to the centuries-old debate about the chicken and the egg, science debates what comes first, boundaries or entities. Contrary to what one would believe, modern researchers argue that boundaries create social entities. It's counterintuitive, and this is not how we experience our bodies. Physical bodies are just there around us and let us see and hear the world. So Abbott contrasts physical and social boundaries. Social boundaries emerge by someone's device and can sometimes fashion the entities that they enclose. Though fixed elements of social structure, boundaries are not set in stone. And then Langley reminds that we shouldn't take them for granted. Instead, we need to notice how they are created and transformed. This process is called boundary work. It can be symbolic, creating conceptual distinctions, or social, representing social differences. Once created, boundaries need to be managed over time. For instance, you have decided that Instagram is for friends and LinkedIn for professional acquaintances. Now you have a choice how to manage the boundary. Either segment the two worlds, not adding any real-life friends to your professional network, and vice versa, or integrate them by gradually cross-populating the two networks. This boundary work happens also out of social media technologies, in the everyday life, where it may be less visible but still present. For instance, when you explain to your new acquaintances at a cocktail party your career path and what you do at work as practitioner of a specific occupation, you engage in boundary work. To sum up, boundaries are tools that demarcate entities or worlds, and they help maintain self-protection, emphasize legitimacy, and enable many other things to happen because of their capacity to separate or bring particular people, objects, and ideas into new configurations. Boundary work is an activity related to creating, maintaining, or configuring boundaries.